So just to get right off this bat, Micah, it's been a while since a performance has filled me with like so much anxiety. Just watching this character, you feel her unease, in every single scene she's in. What was it like inhabiting Agent Harker?
Oh, it was incredible. I loved Lee. I loved playing Lee. It truly was one of my favorite characters I think I've ever brought to life. Of course, it was darker mindset most days, but I just think the atmosphere, the sets, the costume design, everything just sort of brought it to life. So it was I don't know, such a joy.
But there's such like an endearing sort of innocence and like weird, like stilted, childish awkwardness about her that like there was the need to sort of like take care of her and like treat her nicely. That's how I felt on the set.
And I feel like the audience starts to feel the way she does as the movie progresses.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky.
Well, Osgood, you've established yourself as a director who really knows how to create an atmosphere of tension and dread, and that's definitely the case here. Can you talk about your visual approach to this subject matter and this movie's particular look?
I mean, I think in all, what we're trying to do is to create sort of an observational aspect, so that we're watching something unfold that's sort of beyond our reach in a way, right? That's sort of too far for us to be able to do anything about it. Extreme close-ups, inserts and things like don't exist in that world for me. It's more about seeing the tableau of something unfolding and within stillness and sort of distance and giving extra headroom to the actors in the frame creates this sort of feeling of almost like inevitability, like there's things that are going to happen whether you like it or not, and you're kind of at this weird off-balance distance at which you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, that definitely comes across. And as a person who's been watching movies for most of his life, you think you've seen Nicolas Cage do it all, and then you watch him in this. His performance is startling, to say the least, as is the character. For both of you, what was it like seeing Nick Cage transform into Longlegs?
Well, I got to do it a little bit at a time. I got to know the real Nicolas Cage, and then we assembled his look, his affect, the sounds that he made, the way that he carried himself. Those were all things that we shaped and agreed on, and sort of tried out different versions and sort of checked the boxes and kind of made drafts and then corrected things. And so by the time it gets to the full piece, it's the summation of a lot of thought and trial and error and sort of shaping and coloring and shading. For Maika, it was different. A lot of people know that at this point she was sort of exposed to him all at once. She kind of didn't get to meet him before meeting him as Longlegs in full regalia in the moment that they actually do kind of re-meet each other. And that was deliberate, an opportunity to sort of capture on camera a real charged moment.
It looked like you were pretty disturbed.
I was.
She's also a good actor, so she acts disturbed. Really.
Yeah.
That's true too.
Thank you, Oz. I appreciate that.
I saw a beast rise up out of the sea with 7 heads and 10 horns.
Hi, Eric Walkuski, JoBlo.com. Hello, Blair. Thank you so much for your time today.
Hey, Eric, how are you, man? Great to see you.
I'm excited to talk about this movie, which has kept me up nights.
Good. That's good.
I know it is good. Obviously, a very disturbing movie to watch, and the atmosphere is just dripping with tension. I'm curious what it was like on set, and could you kind of imagine what Osgood had in his mind, and does the final product sort of match what it was like on set?
I could somewhat imagine because Oz is very very good at kind of creating this world, but also communicating what it looks and feels like. I saw some of his other films. When I came on the set, we shot this up in Vancouver, Canada. They'd been shooting for about a week, so he was able to show me stills of what they shot, which was important. He's very atmospheric and stylistic, and and it really helped me. Just even the aspect ratio. I mean, he shoots a lot of wide angle lens, which really shows you the expanse of the world. But that helps me to get a feel for what he's doing and the mood of the lighting. So then you have that, which is what they'll cut together for 90 minutes in the dark. But then there's to your question, the process, which was actually a lot of fun. Oz is very laid back, quick to laugh, very lighthearted. But obviously he wrote this with some intense energy and feelings inside, and stories to tell.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a hard movie to describe because it's so much about the mood and scene by scene. And we can't spoil anything here, obviously, but there's a sequence towards the very end, and it's very disturbing and unpredictable. You're a big part of it. Is there any real tension in the room with you guys when you're doing a scene like that?
In between action and cut, definitely. And even and scenes like that. There's some kind of tongue-in-cheek a comedy here, not comedy, but lightheartedness against and juxtaposed to what's really happening, which is very horrific at the same time. And that you really rely on the director to just make sure you're striking that tone that he's creating in this sense.
And really, one of the more human aspects of the movie is your relationship with your character and Lee Harker character, and the way you and Maika have this nice chemistry, and you develop this rapport. I'm curious what it was like acting opposite her and developing that chemistry.
Yeah, she's just great to work with. She's a pro at her young age. I say young age, young to me, but she's a pro. I mean, she came to work. She did her homework, easy. She's never uptight. Very easygoing, knows what she's doing. She's always prepared. And I try to bring that same aspect to work. So we just kind of had a very similar approach to our work and just did it. And when they said cut, all of that characterization that she created, that's very quirky and kind of offbeat, she just drops it. And when they say action, she just drops right in. It's really pretty remarkable to watch.
So I just got to say, there's something really incredibly remarkable about your transformation in this movie, because I knew you were in it, and yet I did not know it was you until the end credits, because I was like, who was that incredible actress? And I was like, oh, wait, no way. I just had forgotten about it. So what can you tell me about inhabiting this character and just transforming yourself so vividly?
This is what I live for as an actor. I've played a fair number of intense roles over my career by choice. And this, I'd say, is the very most intense, the most challenging, the most transformative. And the fact that you didn't know it was me until the end credits makes me want to jump up out of my chair and whoop with glee. That's delightful to me. That's what I want, because it's not me. That is not me.
No,
and some characters might look like me and sound like me a lot more than this one, but she's not me in any way, to the point that I felt almost like, having done the work, having talked with Oz and knowing exactly who Ruth was going to be, in broad strokes, and knowing we were on the same page in bringing his Ruth to life. I didn't feel like I was even playing her anymore when I was on that set. I was just channeling her, letting her come through me. And I just let her do that. And I'm not going to watch, because what came out of me is something that belongs on the screen and preserved forever in this movie, but not for my viewing. It's for your viewing.
Wow. So you'll never see the movie, you don't think?
I don't think I will,
Well, you give a really good performance, so let me just tell you that off the bat. When you're saying this character is kind of, you're channeling her, is it difficult to shake it off when the day is over?
That's a great question. Over the span of my career, I've learned through trial and error of the importance of leaving a character such as this one on the set, not taking it home with you, not sleeping with it in you. You leave it and you let go. So I know how to put a protective shield around myself energy wise when I go into material such as this. There's been others that were similarly heavy and dark. And I find it deeply cathartic to go in fully and then to get back out of it. So that's what I did here. I didn't take it home with me.